Hi, Jim.
Yeah,
Oh, hi, Jim. How are you?
Hi,
I'm
Jim.
doing
How are
good.
you?
How are you doing?
I'm Sergeant Garcia.
Hi, Sergeant Garcia. How you
Nice to
doing?
meet you. Nice to meet you. Hey, you were at Olympic Station not
Yeah,
too long ago, and you were trying to get a copy of a report.
yeah.
And did you make a complaint about that, or you just told them that you were unhappy with the fact you had to pay for it? Do you remember
What?
saying? Because according to them, they said that you said that having to pay for a crime report is a miscarriage of justice. Do you remember?
No, it was more about the wait time.
Okay. All right. Well, what they should have done is
I'm
either.
sorry, by the way.
Are you recording me?
You better believe it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but we're going to have to do this. And who's the officer behind you?
That's sorry. That's
Detective Flores.
Detective Flores?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So what happens is that instead of, do you understand there was a complaint that was generated because of this? Because of you were unhappy with the.
Oh,
wait
there's a
time?
whole lot of stuff that's going on that
What's
that
going on?
eventually
Oh,
will be
eventually.
discussed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but as for this report thing, do you understand that they couldn't give you the report?
No, I understood that the officer could not provide me with the
Oh,
report because that is a part of the policy.
Yeah.
So I have a policy complaint
Okay.
in reference to the wait time
I
of
see.
getting it. So actually it should have outlined it in there that it was a
Well,
policy complaint.
What I can tell you is that on complaints when it comes to policies and procedures, they will just that's what it is. It's a policy that can't be changed.
Well, that's what I was complaining about, though. Do you understand?
Okay, and that's fine. And instead of just telling what I'm trying to do, explain to you why it is the way it is. The administrative section that does the reports, it's in another building, and there's a process that has to go through before they can provide you with a report.
No, no, no. I realize that. That's why the complaint was about the wait time of a policy report.
Okay.
Okay. But this was actually what they called me in for was not the one that I thought I was being called into.
Okay.
And it had to do with an assault that happened in the building from another tenant.
Okay, that was a crime that occurred.
Well, I don't know. The detective has never come to interview me on that one.
Okay.
This was
Well, then
about a
that-
transient who, there's an external door there that has a sign to say keep it closed at nighttime.
I see.
There was a transient, and I actually have another video of him showing up at the location,
I see.
who had walked into the building and took a shower. That's what I was called in for.
Oh,
This
I
one
see.
was the assault that I was trying to get the report on to get. Right, I'm sorry. This one was the assault. This was the assault.
This has to do with just what happened was is that I think they misunderstood. They knew that you were unhappy with the wait time, but there's really nothing the department can do about that because it's an administrative thing. Do you understand that?
Yeah, that's why I
Okay, and
filed the report with them.
You filed a report.
Well, no, I filed the complaint.
Right.
If you actually read the complaint, what it does state is that there's a policy issue that I knew that I couldn't get the report directly from the detective, although sometimes quietly they might do it, but I
Sure.
know that's against the policy. They could get in trouble.
Well,
So
not really, but I mean, did you get a report? Did you get the report?
yeah, I had to wait.
Oh,
I had to
I was
send in
gonna say-
a written request, and then I had to wait. But see, if I needed an immediate, just say an immediate, okay, restraining order on the person, and you have to wait 4 to 6 weeks, anything else could happen during that time frame.
Well,
Because
you're talking about two different things.
Well, no, because the guy said to go. He gave me the location where I could go to get a temporary restraining order on the resident who
Right.
physically assaulted me. So what happened at that point was, then the other detective said, "No, you have to wait until you get the report."
Okay.
Or you know
Well,
what I mean? That
but
he
still,
said to wait till you
even-
speak
even
with the
though-
detective.
And then they decide whether you want to get a restraining order. And
Yeah, but then someone told me that the other officer basically said, "No, you could do it without it." So
Well, and I think what I'm trying to do, what we're doing here, is we're trying to address this without you. See, what happens a lot of times, we get these complaints and we'll just send you a letter and say, it's our policy and that's the end of it. And you don't really get the satisfaction of somebody actually coming to you and explaining to you what's going on. So what I want you to do is just to understand that some of the things that our policies are put in place for a reason, and whether the detective has any leeway or not, that's really up to his commanding officer.
right.
But there's nothing that's personal there, and we're here to help you out. Yeah, that's my phone. So let me give you my card, and I just wanted to let you know that we got this complaint, and I'm going to close it out, okay? And if you have any other issues at Rampart, you can get a hold of me. Let me clear my email address.
Oh, there's a whole lot of stuff going on here in LA. You guys should know that by now.
No. But we're dealing with this right now, and I don't want you to go away feeling like you didn't get the service that you deserve. Okay.
I didn't get the service that I deserve because I've been complaining to law enforcement for a long time about certain things that are going on. But that's something
Well,
that
and we're addressing this one.
I know what you're doing. You're addressing an immediate issue,
Right.
and that, like I said, the bottom line was the wait time. So if
Sure.
there was an issue, like even an auto accident,
Sure.
okay, and you needed that report to give the insurance company,
Sure.
if you have to write a written request, and because they're short-staffed, then
Yeah.
it takes 4 to 6 weeks. Then you have an unresolved issue, possibly with the vehicle. I'm just giving you an arbitrary
Sure.
example, okay? And that report means everything to include your insurance company. I'm just using a car accident as or even like if you were hurt in like you were hit by a car or you're walking down the street and you guys write a report, okay? You need that for insurance purposes or whatever. If you have to wait 4 to 6 weeks, look at all that delay time where you might not have the financial means by which to cover it, and the insurance won't cover it unless they have this police report.
Well, every
So it is a policy
Every-
issue
every-
that I was complaining about.
and every incident has it's just a guide. It's not written in stone. So if there was if you were in a car accident, we would refer it to your insurance company. It wouldn't be referred to you. You wouldn't, if you needed that report, there are ways to get it. So all I'm telling you is that the policy is in place for a reason, but it's more of a guideline. And again, so I just wanted to address it with you. Do you understand what
Yeah.
we're doing? And that we spoke about this, and hopefully it gets resolved.
So I'm still complaining about it, though. You have to understand.
No, what I'm telling you is that I have your complaint,
Okay.
and I'm going to close it out.
Well, it's not resolved though, because you're still saying that there's a delay time. The whole
And what I'm trying to tell you is, instead of just getting a letter saying this is our policy, and that's it, I'm trying to explain it to
Right.
you that it's not going to change our policy. What I'm trying to tell you is
So it's not going to change the policy. That's the answer I'm
But
getting.
what I'm trying to tell you is that if you have issues and you need help with something, you can always reach out to other entities. So
Yeah, I did. The mayor's office.
No, the inspector general. The mayor's office not really. Not you have a number for inspector general?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
I can get it.
Yeah, can you get it?
No,
'Cause
listen,
I want the
that's
inspector
my
general's
email
number.
address. You can email me or you can call me and I'll get you that information.
Because this affects everyone down the road. What's going on right now can affect you, if can affect everybody.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to explain to you that we, as a department, we would rather reach out to you than to just give you a piece of paper saying we.
Well, I understand it's a policy, so that goes much higher than you guys. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So,
I
I mean, like I said, they told me you could use the detective could use his discretion.
Sure.
But I realized that he would be violating the policy, which could get him in trouble for technically violating a policy.
The policy is a guide. It's not written in stone. He wouldn't. Yeah, if he gets it cleared by his commanding.
Right, and I was given a call by the internal affairs saying that the supervisor said no, she had to write the letter and get the copy. So that's why I got a report, but I had to actually, formally write
Okay.
and then send it in and then have it. And part of the problem is the short staffing of the employees to be able to facilitate a quicker turnover.
Yeah.
So when I wrote the
Well,
complaint,
here's the thing. We're addressing this as quickly as we can. But what I need is the signature on it, that this is your complaint and that we were addressing these things and we discussed this today. And then hopefully with the information I get you, we can get either.
I'm not signing anything.
Can you refuse to sign it? Okay.
Yeah, I won't sign anything it's a blank sheet that could be placed on anything.
No, what I'm telling you is that there's two ways of doing this.
So you can, okay, I
do.
do.
I'm going to close it out and just send you a letter.
Okay.
Or I could come to you, we could discuss what happened, give you some information, and resolve it. It's up to you. Either way.
Yeah, I'm not signing anything for LAPD, but you can turn around and send the formal letter because that's in writing, which is fine with me.
Okay.
And this shows me that you came here to discuss it, but I will not sign any forms for LAPD. And then, do you have the number for the Inspector General?
Oh, no. You
Okay.
you have to get. Oh, you're getting right
Yeah,
now.
I'm getting it.
Okay. So just be advised that that this we did get your complaint. We will just close it out. It won't change the policy. So just to understand that you don't get too frustrated. Okay.
Well, it's not. I'm sure I'm not the only person. And like I said, You
Yeah.
can close it from your perspective,
Yeah.
okay? But from the actual complaint itself, it really does have to do with this whole concept of this turnover time and having to wait.
Okay.
Does that
But,
make
but
sense?
that won't change. I can tell you that right now.
Well, that's
Policy won't
that.
change.
Well, that's. But then I have to just know that I
You tried.
Yeah.
You made a complaint.
So the
and-
complaint was really about the policy of waiting and the ability to get access to a police report in a timely fashion, and that's the bottom line, really. Okay.
Right.
You have a pen now? And I can
Or he has the
the
pen.
Okay. So
I'm sorry. You got my pen.
oh, sorry.
So it's nothing against you personally coming here to try to discuss this. It's more about the fact that you're saying a policy can't change, and I'm saying that
No,
that's
I
what
didn't
I'm
say that.
complaining about.
I'm saying that one complaint that you made is not going to change policy.
No, I understand. Well, at least I am someone who tried to do it.
I know, but what we're trying to do is more like a customer satisfaction thing and come to you personally and explain to you what's going on. It's really, it makes no difference to us.
I wrote it right there on the top that says IG office.
Okay.
That's Inspector General.
But
Okay.
what we do is we do mediation, and that's what we're doing now. We're trying to resolve your issues
Well,
here. And
right.
we gave you information to hopefully help you out, and we're just either way it will become closed out. But it's to
But-
me it's more personal to actually come to the person and explain to them what's going on, and that's really what we do.
Sure you do.
What's that?
This is called what? PR?
Exactly.
Public
So now,
relations?
look at this. This is what we do is alternate resolution. And basically what we're saying is we're communicating, the two of us, and we're trying to, we're addressing your complaint. And instead of just being cold and I'm going to close this out and send you a letter.
You know what would have been more important for me?
What's that?
Is that the two of you were detectives that were talking to me about the physical assault that happened. Because that's
Well,
battery.
I don't know what's going on with that.
So-
we get the
So you're
information.
more interested in this portion of customer service than
This
us
is-
addressing an
you
issue
understand
of battery.
Do you understand who we are?
Yeah, you
We're
guys are
internal-
like the
We're internal affairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I got the complaint, okay,
right.
it's against the department. It's not, when it's a policy, it's against the entire department. And so what we do is we just refer to the actual policy itself, and then we close out the investigation. And so, but there's other ways to do it too. We can come out and actually discuss it with the person, try to resolve some issues, and then, and then close it out that way. But, it's up to you. Either way, I think this is better. At least you get to talk to somebody.
Well, yeah. I mean, for me, I still want it in writing anyway, because writing is I mean, because I'm gonna sign it, so you have to put
when
it
you
in
sign
writing.
it still gets closed out, you'll still get a letter.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Well, I mean, but what I'm saying is that
and I mean, I'm not hiding anything.
no. Regardless, my bottom line is that it's basically saying that I had a complaint about the policy of getting a police report,
Okay.
and so I did detail that in the complaint. I thought I did in the complaint about the policy and about the understaffing of the individuals from the department, because I know it's a records department outside. Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm very aware of that.
Right.
And so I asked them, why would it take so long for you to get a report? And it was just off the cuff, and they weren't trying to do anything to say that they're understaffed. So if we're understaffed, they get hundreds per day apparently. Okay, so if you're understaffed, then it's hard for them to be able to pull every record accurately, make copies, get it out in the mail. So I paid $24 to get my copy, and I would have to wait. But if it were something that I thought I needed immediately, yes, it's at the discretion of an officer. But technically, in a policy that's written, if that officer violates the policy, then he could be subject to,
So you understand?
that's why I told them.
Okay, so
I told the officer, don't have the officer do it because he'd probably get in trouble because of policy. I'm complaining about the policy itself because you're understaffed, and I don't want to get someone else in trouble. I just want my report. So that's what I was complaining about, was the policy.
Well, again, we
And the understaffing of
what
the
we-
people
what
who
we've
pull
done
the
is
records.
We're doing exactly what this is supposed to do. We talked about this.
Yeah, I don't believe you guys should break the rules. I
No,
believe that
we're not,
it should be
but,
more efficiently done.
If you want,
And
I
you
can-
guys have computerized systems. You could PDF a file and then send it directly over to them till the written copy gets to them, and then they could print it up and give it to someone. I mean, there's all kinds of ways in which to mitigate the
I agree.
time frame.
I agree.
Okay? So for me, it's like looking at a picture and being able to streamline it so it doesn't make it as difficult for everybody.
I agree.
So I don't have to write a written report like that so that you guys have to spend your time coming here talking to me if it's much easier to mitigate the situation. So what I'm saying to you-
do you want to participate in it? Because this is basically what you did already. You're participating in this resolution thing. You understand what the issues are.
Yeah, I understand. That's why I wrote it, was because
and-
I don't want the officer to give me a report that policy says
And
he
the
shouldn't.
complaint will still go through. It's just that saying that we discussed this will just close it out that much quicker. So it's up to you.
Well, then you have to write there that she's not agreeing with. I mean, you're closing it
That's what I'm saying. but
based
we-
upon the
we discussed
discussion.
it. Yes.
But then all my
But they
concerns
overtook-
have not been really addressed. Do you
Well,
understand?
It still goes through the department, that knowing that you're not happy with the issue. And
Right. No, I understand that you're here right now to discuss it, and you're going to close the portion of what you that you discussed it. But for me, I'm saying that the issue has not been resolved.
Okay, but what would resolve it?
What I just said, I gave you guys some advice. Okay, if
but-
you're
but-
writing it,
but
you could
what I'm trying to
PDF
tell
the
you is,
file,
First of all,
or you can actually
you
scan the
give me
file.
this advice, but what I'm trying to explain to you is that won't happen. That policy, it takes a police commission and a mayor and a police. It would never change overnight. But the fact is, your complaint is documented.
Right.
Either way.
Right.
So what this does is this just gives us a face-to-face and explain to you, and you tell me.
Right, and you're
what
saying
we're-
that at this point it's near impossible to do it. And then if you're asking for a resolution, because I don't just complain, I'll give you a resolution.
Okay.
You guys have copy machines that scan. You could immediately email that directly to the records department, so they have until the original arrives. Technically, that is a copy. Okay? As long as it's signed off on by your sergeant or whoever, then it's immediately available. Instead of searching through the paperwork, you have your PDF files that are scanned. That's how they're going paperless. Okay? Then they can pull that record immediately and then print it up and send it out.
I wish it was so easy.
Well, it is that easy, but you know,
It's
when
the-
people think
we're
that
talking-
logically
we're
is,
we're talking about the city. You were talking about a big administrator. We're talking.
you know, you're talking about bureaucracy.
Exactly. So
So I'm not blaming you guys that are here. You understand that, right? I'm trying to make it easier because I had an issue where 4 to 6 weeks is a long time
it
to
is.
wait.
I agree.
And part of that is because of
And
understaffing.
again, I mean, we as a department, we apologize, but I don't have a solution for you. And if it ever came down to where there was an emergency and you really, really needed the report, I'm sure that there would have been something done. But as for right now, we're finishing out this investigation, and we can get you some other information if you need it. But it was just, I'm glad I got to talk to you, and
So you know that I'm a reasonable, logical, intelligent human being that does understand a whole process that
and
transpires.
you just were part of this process. It's fine.
Okay.
It'll work out.
So I mean, what you're doing is basically coming here, having a one-on-one instead of writing a letter. But as far as the
Well, you'll still
policy,
get the letter.
right? But as far as the policy itself, it doesn't. I understand.
I would be lying to you if I was going to tell you just one complaint's going to change policy. I won't do that to you.
Right.
It's a bureaucracy. I'm just a little cog in a big machine.
So am I.
Yeah.
So am I, and I'm trapped just like you are. But I'm trying to do something because it makes it easier for everybody down the road.
Okay. Let me just show you real quick what this is. This is a mediation, which we did. Is completely confidential. What we talk about doesn't go anywhere else. It's just like the investigation. And it's just that our communication was, face to face. And all this.
And it covered just this whole the complaint.
Just the purpose of this, and all.
Well, it's the complaint about the policy, right?
Yes,
It's the
yes.
police report
And
policy.
all it says is the two of us talk and your signature, and that's the end.
But I'm not giving you a signature.
Okay. Well,
I don't give signature without a lawyer present. But thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Bye bye.
And
Thank you.
Bye-bye.